I never imagined I'd grow used to sleeping on the far edge of a king-size bed, yet over time, that became my normal. What used to be a space of warmth and closeness with my wife, Claire, had turned into a cold battlefield filled with silence and distance. She had a ritual now. Every night, around 10, she'd pat my shoulder, brush a quick, detached kiss against my cheek, and mutter, "Good night. I'm tired." Then she'd roll away, cocoon herself in blankets, and drift off, leaving me wide awake, staring at the ceiling. At first, I fought it. I'd reach for her, hoping maybe tonight would be different. I'd suggest a late-night walk, a glass of wine, or just a simple talk about our day. But she dismissed me again and again, until my hope dimmed into quiet resignation. Eventually, she stopped even pretending. One Thursday, after a dinner drowned in silence and the clinking of silverware, she stood, stretched, and said, "I'm heading to bed. Don't stay up too late." When I walked in later, the light on her nightstand was already off. Her back faced me, her breathing steady. No words, no warmth, just emptiness. It felt like being put to bed alone, like an intruder in my own marriage. I lay restless, the silence pressing down heavier than any blanket. Then I heard it, a soft knock on the door. At first I thought I was imagining things, but it came again, gentler this time, almost hesitant. David. It was her Aunt Rebecca. She had been staying with us for a few weeks while her house was under renovation. Older than Claire, wiser, and carrying a gentleness I hadn't felt in years. "Can I come in?" she whispered. My chest tightened. I didn't answer right away. My mind spun. Why was she here? Why now? But the loneliness inside me, the rejection I had endured for so long, made her words echo louder than they should have. In that moment, I realized it wasn't just about her knocking. It was about whether I was ready to let someone finally see the emptiness my wife had left behind. Slowly, I sat up, my heart thundering in my chest. For years, I had begged Claire for connection, for tenderness, for something that reminded me I was more than a piece of furniture in our home. Yet here I was, my wife asleep a few feet away, while her aunt stood outside the door, whispering words that carried more care than I had heard in months. I cleared my throat. "Come in." Rebecca slipped inside quietly, robe cinched tight, closing the door carefully so Claire wouldn't stir. Her eyes found mine in the glow of the bedside lamp, filled with something I hadn't seen reflected back at me in years. Concern, empathy. "I couldn't sleep," she said softly, "and I heard you moving around. I just wanted to check if you're okay." Such a simple question, yet it nearly broke me. When was the last time anyone had asked if I was okay? Claire had, years ago, before the distance, before rejection became routine. "I'm fine," I lied, though my voice cracked enough to give me away. Rebecca sat on the chair by the window, steady and calm. "You don't have to pretend, David. I see it. I've seen it for a while now. You're carrying something heavy, and she's not helping you carry it." Her words cut deep, right into the part of me I'd tried to bury. For so long, I thought the problem was me, that maybe I wasn't good enough, not interesting enough, not enough. But hearing someone else acknowledge the truth I'd been too afraid to say out loud, it shifted something inside me. We sat in silence for a while, two people awake in the middle of the night, breathing the same heavy air. Finally, she said gently, "You deserve better than to feel alone in your own bed." Her words hit harder than I expected. I wanted to defend Claire, to excuse her coldness, but I couldn't, because deep down, I knew Rebecca was right. And for the first time in a long time, I felt seen. Rebecca's truth lingered in the air, undeniable. For years, I had told myself to hold on, to wait, to stay loyal, to keep believing Claire would come back to me. But the reality was right there in front of me. Someone outside our marriage could see what I had been too proud to admit. I was living with a woman who had already left me in every way except on paper. Rebecca stood slowly, hesitating as though she feared she'd gone too far. "I'm sorry if I overstepped," she whispered. I shook my head. "No, you just said what I've been too afraid to admit." For a brief moment, she looked at me with something deeper than sympathy, something dangerously close to care. Then she laid her hand lightly on my shoulder, gentle but steady. Don't lose yourself trying to save someone who doesn't want to be saved. Her touch lingered just long enough to remind me of what human warmth felt like. Not lust, not temptation, just compassion. The kind I had been starved of for so long that I almost forgot it existed. She left quietly, closing the door behind her. But I couldn't sleep after that. I just lay awake, staring at the ceiling, realizing how broken things had truly become. The next morning, Claire moved through the kitchen as if nothing had changed. Coffee in one hand, phone in the other, barely acknowledging me. No good morning, no glance, no warmth. And that's when it hit me harder than ever. She didn't see me anymore. Not as her husband, not as a man, not as anything. That day, I packed a small bag, just enough clothes for a few days, my toothbrush, my phone charger. Claire didn't even look up when I zipped the suitcase shut. At the door, I caught Rebecca's gaze. She didn't speak, but the understanding in her eyes was enough. She knew, and I knew too. This wasn't about leaving for someone else. It was about finally walking away from someone who had abandoned me long ago. I stepped outside, closed the door, and for the first time in years, I felt free. Because sometimes the loneliest place in the world isn't an empty room. It's a bed where love no longer lives.